Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about mindsets. We're going to be distinguishing between fixed and growth mindsets. That's going to be the primary focus of today, as well as talking about why it's so important that you actually develop a growth mindset. So by the end of the video, you're going to be able to determine if you have a fixed mindset, and hopefully you'll decide that it's time to switch to a growth mindset. And like I said, we'll be discussing why it's so important to have a growth mindset for yourself, for your self-improvement, for your mental health, as well as for your learning experience, which is so important if you are a student. And this will be a two-part series. We will be talking about how you can develop a growth mindset in next Monday's video, so make sure that you stick around for next week's as well. And all of this information is really coming from Dweck. She is an amazing psychologist out of Stanford University who really started the conversation on mindsets. She was one of the first researchers who really wanted to see if your mindset can change your behavior, can change really your life, and it is as drastic as that. So definitely very influential within this field, and that is who we're going to be primarily discussing when it comes to researchers and psychologists. And I think without further ado, we can get right on into it. So first, I really want to distinguish between the two different types of mindsets that you could have. One being a fixed mindset. So what is that? It assumes that we are who we are, our personality, our abilities, all because of what our genes allow us to be. And basically that there is no room for improvement whatsoever. Now, this can be detrimental to a lot of different aspects of our life. Specifically looking at students, as Dweck did, a fixed mindset is often associated with being afraid of assessments because if we fail, it is a representation of who we are. And for the same reason, students with a fixed mindset often don't try very hard because they don't think that hard work will get them a better grade. They think it's all predetermined. And this leads to an intense fear of failure, a focus on grades rather than on hard work or even on learning the material. So because of this, students with fixed mindsets are more likely to cheat on exams, and they're definitely more focused on memorization rather than really learning the concepts, which can be detrimental to your schooling. And there is also a link to procrastination here because of this fear of failure. And the bottom line here is that a fixed mindset is very limiting. You can only be what your genes say you are, which is not a great way to live. And this can go as far as actually leading to learned helplessness, which is a phenomenon when people lose control or they feel that they do not have control and often feel discouraged and can actually be a significant cause of depression. And that is one reason why it's so important that you actually change from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Okay, so what is a growth mindset? Very contrastly, it assumes that we have room to grow, that with enough practice, with enough time and effort, we can actually improve in all areas of our life. And this is wonderful because it gives us the power to determine who we're going to be. Students with a growth mindset do not shy away from assignments. They actually see it as a challenge that they want to take. They want to see if they've learned as much as they want to learn. And this is where you really see a difference. Students are focused on mastering the content rather than just memorization to get a good mark. And they're much less likely to cheat on assignments. And the bottom line here is that a growth mindset allows you to grow. It gives you the freedom to improve and to choose your own path for your life. Okay, next I want to focus on the benefits of having a growth mindset because there are actually a lot. Number one is that it's really the key to self-development, to self-improvement. If you want to improve, obviously you have to believe that you can. And this is the very foundation of a growth mindset. And that's why it's so important that if you want to self-improve, if you want to begin that self-development journey, you actually believe that you can. And if you are stuck or fixed in this fixed mindset, you might feel that self-improvement is just out of reach, which is not where you want to be. And so that is one reason or one motivation that someone might want to switch from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Number two is there are so many, and when I say so many, I mean there are so many different health benefits. We see benefits to self-esteem, to self-confidence, to self-validation, and to really our evaluation of our self-concept or self-worth when people have a growth mindset over a fixed mindset. And interestingly, people with growth mindsets are actually a lot better at estimating their abilities at various different tasks. It's really important to know how you're going to perform on a given task, on a given situation, because it helps us determine our self-esteem. If you are overconfident and you underperform, you're going to see a huge dip or drop to your self-esteem. Alternatively, if you know how you're going to perform and you perform at that level, you'll see no impacts on your self-esteem, which is what happens in a growth mindset. We also see a lowering in our risk of depression when somebody has a growth mindset over a fixed mindset. And this actually comes from research by Dweck herself. Dweck found that students with a fixed mindset have higher levels of depression. And this is because they spend time ruminating over their anxieties, over their worries, and over their stress about these assignments because they really see them as evidence of failure of themselves. And basically what I'm talking about is perfectionism. And there have been tons of studies that have shown that perfectionism can really lead to depression, to anxiety, and really just take a toll on your mental health. The third effect on your mental health is that a growth mindset can help you stress a little bit less. Life is a lot less stressful when you don't see every assessment, every situation as being an evaluation of yourself. And when you shift from a fixed to a growth mindset, you'll realize that a single event is just that. It's just an event. You'll realize that a low IQ, a divorce, a low SAT score, a low exam score does not define you. It's just one sentence on one page in one chapter of the story of your life. And that is very, very powerful and very good for your mental health, to realize that you're not just one mistake you might have made or one error. Instead, you're so much more than that. You're a human being that is composed of so much. And that's what a growth mindset really allows you to see. And now moving away from mental health, we're going to start talking about learning, because a growth mindset can actually have really, really great benefits on your learning environment, on your learning style, and how you tackle school. And this is because a growth mindset is focused on mastery, not on memorization, not on grades, but on really understanding the course material. And all of this actually goes on to give you better grades. So though it may be counterintuitive to switch to a growth mindset because you want better grades, it is one motivation, and if it's your motivation to switch the way you look at life, I'd say go for it. Also to do with learning, growth mindsets lead to a lot less procrastination, which means you're productive a lot more of the time, which also means you get better grades. And this is because when you have a growth mindset, you're not worried about that assessment, you're worried about understanding the course material, which is not as scary as preparing for a test. So obviously, less time procrastinating, more time studying, more time learning, and obviously you're going to get better grades. Okay, so I hope that convinced you that a growth mindset is definitely the way to go if you're going between a growth and a fixed mindset. But you'll notice that I didn't talk about how to actually develop one, and that's because that'll actually be the focus of next Monday's video. This week I really did want to focus on distinguishing between the two different types of mindsets and really talking about why one is significantly better than the other on your mental health and just on your overall life. If you are interested in learning how to develop a growth mindset, now that you know all the benefits of it, I would definitely recommend subscribing if you haven't done that before. It'll be posted next week. And definitely remember to come back for that one, because I'm really going to be talking about how you can change your life with changing the mindset that you live by. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this little friend right here. She did move my camera a couple of times. She did make some noises. I'll try and edit in some clips now because they are pretty cute. And yeah, I guess that's it for me. Stay safe and stay happy, and I will see you again on Monday.